EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for April 8th, 2025. It is Tuesday. The Tuesday video forecast is proudly sponsored by Mark Damiani Painting Incorporated. We are just a couple of weeks into spring, but have you made your exterior to-do list yet? Take a look at those garage doors and shutters. They may be faded and could use a fresh coat or change of color, perhaps. Your deck or concrete sidewalks might have mildew on them, and they can pressure wash them as well. They're here for any of your painting and pressure washing needs this spring. They are family owned and operated with over 40 years in business. You can't go wrong with their exceptional attention to detail and great customer service. Servicing the Southeast PA counties of Montgomery, Bucks, and Chester. Call them now to schedule a free estimate at the phone number above me here in the video, 484-571-9233. They are Mark Damiani Painting Incorporated, proud sponsor of the Tuesday video forecast. So today we're transporting back to winter. This is going to feel more like February or early February, in fact, in a lot of areas. You see the temperature spread above me. That is not a misprint. 38 to 45 is the temperature spread across the region today. And then overnight tonight, we're going to have a hard freeze in a lot of areas. So if you have any sensitive vegetation already growing, plants, things like that, cover them or bring them in, because you're definitely going to need to, you're definitely going to lose them with some of these temperatures going down to the mid-20s in some places tonight. Some places even lower than that in our far northern areas. But we have this big trough that's sitting over the region. Now, one thing we also going to have today to add insult to injury is windy conditions. The reason for that is we have a strengthening area of this departing low pressure over New England is a strengthening area of low pressure. And at the same time, there's a big high pressure that's sitting right here. See that big area of high pressure? That is sitting right there. And so in between here, you get a channeling of wind, and that goes into because of the pressure gradient difference, and that goes right through our area. That is going to be most notable this afternoon as this really starts getting going and ramping up across eastern New England. And that means we're going to have these windy conditions. It's been a little bit breezy this morning, but really when you get in the afternoon and up until about dinner time, so that like 12 to 6 window there especially is going to be the most notable. You notice some wind gusts that are 30 to 35 and some peak gusts that are getting the upper 30s in a few places until this starts to subside once we hit evening, but it's going to be a gradual process, and then after midnight it is negligible. So unfortunately, another windy day to deal with. We have plenty of those this year, but this is what happens if you have cold air advection, and very common in this time of in April yet, because you have like these big wild changes in temperature. And that's really what does it. When you go from warmer ahead of it to colder behind it, you'll get the cold air advection stuff. But in this case, it's a pressure gradient difference between the high that's out here over the moving to the Ohio Valley, and then you have the low pressure exiting eastern New England, and the difference in pressure between that. Between those two entities is what creates the channeling wind effect in between. Okay, so that will be just temporary as that pressure gradient moves through the region today. Then after that, we get to Wednesday. It's a mostly sunny day. No wind, no pressure gradient, no wind. So the wind is just out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour, much nicer day. And it's actually not going to feel as cold either. So you see the spread tomorrow up above me here is 46 to 52. So a little bit of a rebound, not warm, and it's still colder than average for this time of year, below average, just not 15 to 20 degrees below average. We're talking about temperatures that are going to be about maybe 10 or so degrees below average, okay? So it's still definitely below average, but again, if you're in full sun and not a lot of wind, it won't feel too terrible. Certainly feel a lot better than today does. Okay, then we have Wednesday evening and overnight. We have a system coming at us that's going to drag a warm front through the region first, okay? And then will be followed by some showers activity here in the afternoon. Now, it doesn't really show too much here on the European model. As I get over the long-range NAM, though, you can see, until I make it to Thursday morning, yes, there's some snow back in this equation again, because overnight, Wednesday night is going to get into the lower 30s for lows. So, I mean, it's going to still be kind of cold. And then when this stuff comes in into Thursday morning, you can see the far northern tier, again, might be a target, especially higher elevations, might be targeted with some snow falling, whether it's sticking or not are two different things. We saw that yesterday with some snowflakes falling, but it just wasn't enough quantitative precipitation to really do much. So the snow map really didn't work out too well. It's kind of tough to get a snow map to work out this time of year. Not impossible, but you need the right setup. This is just a warm front, and with that overrunning precipitation, you get some showers there. But the bulk of this is going to come in later in the afternoon here on Thursday. So Thursday is going to turn out showery later in the day as this moves toward us, and that's going to go through the overnight. And the European model has, once the upper level low catches up to this, remember we talked about this yesterday, big upper level low that's going to co-locate with this surface low and produce some rain, periods of rain during the day here on Friday, and that's going to continue into Friday night, it looks like. And then eventually The upper level low portion is going to, and surface low are going to move offshore here, so that we get to Saturday. You just have a few showers just kind of rotating around the back side of this. So Saturday doesn't look terrible overall. It is going to be cloudy or mostly cloudy with the threat of a few showers passing through, but the bulk of this is really going to be Friday night, I think, with the rainfall, and there you could get half inch to an inch of rain out of that, which would be good. We definitely could use it. It's just poor timing to coincide with the weekend when people are trying to do things outdoors. Here's Saturday, by the way. That just shows a few showers just still hanging around during the day as that low includes offshore, and then as the upper level low moves eastward on Sunday, we're still optimistic that Sunday, even though it will be partly to mostly cloudy skies, more clouds than sun, it should be dry for most areas here on Sunday. So the second half of the weekend looks a little bit better. Temperatures are still going to be at least slightly below average even on Sunday, with temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. So it's not like it's going to be warm necessarily compared to what it should be for the time of year. Remember, at that time, by the time we get to this weekend, the average high temperatures across the region are generally getting into the lower 60s. So if you're in your upper 50s, it might feel warm comparatively speaking to what we're dealing with today and tomorrow, but it's still slightly cooler than average than it should be. Now, we will have a turnaround in the wake of this as we get to Monday. We're going to have what's turning in from the west and aloft, the southwesterly flow is going to bring in some milder temperatures. And we're talking about temperatures getting well into the 60s for highs here on Monday with partly cloudy skies. So that looks like a pretty good, at least the first 4, maybe 5 days of next week, like the work week basically. Looks pretty mild. Might be near to slightly above average through that entire stretch. But it does look like it's going to be mainly dry for most of it. We might be dealing with another system coming in toward next weekend or maybe over next weekend. So that's this time of year. I know a lot of people like to complain about the weekends. Oh, there goes another weekend ruined. But it's April. April and November to me are like the two biggest waste months of the year because that's all they do. You get these teases of nice conditions, and then other times you'll see like it wants to go back to winter again, like we're going to be dealing with today, or you're dealing with a lot of stalled fronts or upper level lows or anything like that. This is the time of year for that. Okay, so this is not uncommon. It's just poor timing with the weekends, but maybe that'll change by the time we get to next weekend. We have a lot of time to look at that, certainly. I'm EPA meteorologist Bobby Martich. That is your outlook for April 8th, 2025. Have a great Tuesday.